You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Cowart versus James.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Ms. Cowart, you claim you're here today to determine the paternity of your 9-month-old son in an effort to save your relationship with his alleged father, Mr. James.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. James, you say Ms. Cowart has cheated on you in the past, and you argue you not only have good reason to doubt paternity, but say you can no longer trust her at all.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. James, tell me, how did this relationship start?
Well, it first started with me actually seeing her around the apartment complex that we both live in, and seeing that she's always dressed for work. She's always taking care of her daughter, you know, just a nice looking young lady. And considering I was single at the time, I looked at her a couple of times, tried to send some of my friends over to get her number, to see if she was interested in me, anything of that nature. None of that worked. And then one day I just so happened to see her at the bus stop, getting off of work, gave her a ride home. I'm a mobile mechanic myself, so I gave her my business card and, you know, told her to give me a call if she get free. She wanted to have dinner or something of that nature. Well, of course, she never called, and I was, you know, I felt a little bad about it. But the chance rose another time later when a fight had broke out in the complex, and we both just so happened was there watching. And I took my child again and asked her whether or not, you know, she would like to have a drink with me. She implied that she wanted to, she did, and that's how the relationship basically started.
All right, and so, Ms. Cowart, you met Mr. James.
Yes.
You started a relationship.
Yes.
Were you seeing each other exclusively, or how was this a committed relationship?
We started off in a sexual relationship, but quickly it turned into a relationship.
Okay, a committed relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
And then at some point you find out you're pregnant.
When I found out I was pregnant, he originally bought a home pregnancy test because we didn't take any precautions. We actually planned to have a child.
I was the one that actually told her that she was pregnant, Your Honor.
Yes.
You were?
Yes.
How did you know?
Well, I have evidence that I keep on the calendar basically about her cycle. And from what I've done, so I know basically when I can and when I cannot, you know, be intimate with her.
Oh, and you have that on a calendar?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, do you have that evidence with you?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Jerome? So, Mr. James, how long have you been keeping a calendar like this?
Since I've been about 25, 26 years old.
25 or 26?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you now?
I'm 42.
Oh. This is calendars at this point, right?
It's plural, yes, ma'am.
So for 16 years, you've been keeping track of
different women that I've slept with. Can't be too certain these days with somebody coming in to tell you 16 years later you got a child. I got a calendar to say that I didn't have it.
Wow.
Sexual
so you
transmitted.
have in your calendar the dates you were intimate with women?
Yes, ma'am, I
and
do.
also a record of their monthly cycles?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Wow.
At one point in my life, I was a womanizer. So if this woman was on her cycle, I can go to this woman versus this woman.
Oh.
But I mean, times change, you get older, you grow up. So.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Ms. Cowart, did you know he was keeping this calendar?
I did, yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, so you're open about the calendar.
Yes,
very
ma'am,
open.
You don't hide it.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let me see this evidence. So you have here, all right, Friday, December 28th, 2012. That's
you
you have an abbreviation, meaning that the monthly cycle began.
Yes, ma'am.
And then on Wednesday, January 2nd, you have it marked where it ended.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And so how did your calendar play a role once you found out she was pregnant? Is this what made you doubtful as you went back through your notes?
Well,
you noticed there were some issues?
Yes, there's a lot of issues. Considering the first time that we went to the actual doctor, they gave her one due date. They gave her another one on another day. So there was two different due dates. Neither one of them coincide with the days when I actually was intimate with her, nor with that none of it coincided with the last time that I slept with her before our last menstrual.
Now, do you have any other evidence that would?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I have the calendar of when we slept together in December, also when we slept together again after she came off her menstrual cycle.
He didn't put all the dates on his calendar.
I put all the dates on there.
You didn't.
You,
ANC is her initials.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so December 7th, December 13th, December 17th, January 16th.
And she claims that we had birthday sex, which is my birthday, which is in January, but we did not actually have any. And I know it for a fact because she was upset from Christmas. We fell out around Christmas time after the kids got their presents. I didn't get mine, so we kind of fell out. We actually separated at that time.
And so, by your diary of information, there was almost a month's break in between.
Yes, it was.
The instances when you were intimate.
She claims that we had it during my birthday.
Ms. Cowart says
January the 4th.
And that's
so
what
you say January 4th,
yes,
you were
ma'am.
intimate,
He
and
did not
that's
put it on
during
his
the
calendar.
window of conception.
Yes, ma'am.
Which lines up with the due date you were given.
Yes, it does.
But I will remember it's my birthday weekend. What man doesn't know his birthday weekend?
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. So, Ms. Cowart, were you intimate with Mr. James on his birthday?
Not his actual birth date. On the 4th of January, we were intimate.
That weekend.
All right. Were you intimate with any other man during that time?
No, ma'am.
Of course, I kind of begged to differ. She was partying.
He feels like that because, like he said, we got into it on his birthday. I ended up going home to my apartment. He didn't hear from me until the next day. He claims it was several days.
It was 2 or 3 days later.
It wasn't. I seen him on his birthday. He picked me up from the grocery store.
I have no recollection of that, but
Just
I'm
like
the one that keeps the calendar.
He has no recollection.
You didn't put the grocery store on your calendar?
No, ma'am, I did not. I put my customers on the calendar.
Mr. James, you slipping now.
Well, the grocery store is not that important.
You gotta add that in.
Well, it's not more important than sexual.
I'm just teasing you. So what happens during the pregnancy? Are you participating?
Well, once we found out she was pregnant, I already pretty much told her that I was going to take a DNA before I put my name on the birth certificate, because of the simple fact is I need the DNA.
So, Mr. James, let me ask you this, because besides your calendar and your calculations, what other reason do you have to doubt?
Well, from the beginning, the way that the relationship started, she was in a relationship when the relationship started.
Okay.
And after a week of us being intimate, sneaking around, I started catching real strong feelings for her. I know that's kind of soon, but I also told her that I've been looking at her for a year. And I gave her the option. You either get rid of him or stay away from my house. I mean, it was an option. I mean, ultimatum option. She chose me. I'm a single black man that had his own apartment, had his own business, taking care of and raising full custody of my son. And that's what intrigued her, and so she left him alone after 8 years. So her being as arrogant as she is, after a while of us being together, she admitted to me that she had slept with him twice.
And I don't feel like there was anything wrong with that, because when I met him, I was in a relationship with that man, which is my daughter's father.
Well,
I only slept with him twice.
There's something wrong with it when we're
him.
having unprotected sex, you sleeping with another man.
I understand
of course
that,
there's gonna be something wrong.
But I also want him to understand you met me as someone else's woman. You cannot feel like I'm committed to you, and that's not what I wanted in the beginning. It was supposed to be a sex thing.
So did any of this sex happen during the window of conception?
No.
Well, that's what she says. I don't know, because she was nowhere to be found for 2 or 3 days.
On this calendar, between December 17th and January 16th, you say she could really have been with somebody else because you all weren't together for that entire month. And for some days during that time, you felt like she had gotten missing.
Yes, ma'am. She's basically, I thought it was over with when my birthday came around. There was nothing else for us to talk about. There was nothing for us to do. We done wasted this much time. And she kind of felt the same way, but then there she goes, showing up at the door, knocking on the door. Can we talk? Can we talk this out? And that was around the 16th of January when that actually
I don't
happened.
recall that date.
You have to recall it.
It wasn't
on
that
my
far.
calendar.
It wasn't that far. It wasn't that far along. He's saying it's been days and weeks. It wasn't that long. It was maybe 3 or 4 days when all this occurred. It was not weeks and it was not.
It was weeks.
So when Taj was born, who was at the hospital? Anybody there?
Mr. James was at the hospital. He was there the whole time.
Did you sign the birth certificate?
Yes.
Actually, I didn't. I don't know how my name got on the birth
He
certificate.
signed the birth
but it's
certificate.
on-
I have evidence that he signed the birth certificate.
Jerome, let me see that.
In the hospital, he told me he would sign it, but he still wanted a DNA test.
Okay. You didn't fill out any paperwork as it relates to Taj.
I dictated it to her because she didn't know my social, but other than that, no,
He
I
filled
never
the
actually
paperwork out.
physical.
So in the hospital, were you pretty much admitting
He had the
you're his father?
No, I wouldn't say that I was admitting it. I'm saying that basically I've been there from day one. I wanted to see it all the way through. And when he came out looking a spitting image of his mother, he looks every bit like his mother, I had my doubts started raising. So, I mean, but as
So
time
as you look at Taj, do you see yourself? Do you think he looks like you?
No, ma'am, I don't.
You don't see any part of you in his features or anything?
No, ma'am, he looks just like his mother from his nose to his eyes.
Do you
the
feel
way that
like
they act.
you feel like he looks like her ex?
No, he doesn't look like her ex, but I mean, that's to say that where I was the one that was just gonna be a sleeping thing, somebody else could have been just a sleeping thing while we've been in the relationships. Considering the span of length of time, I just don't know. I've caught her in lies. I done went through her phone.
He's just a very
seen
jealous
pictures
person.
So
of her.
you feel like since you were sleeping with her when she was in another relationship, it's very possible that she was sleeping with somebody else while she was in the relationship with you.
And still is to this day.
To this day?
98% of his customers are females and women.
I mean,
He-
what man is not going to admit that
He
he
has
doesn't know how to
told
check
me
his own air and
several
his tires? I
times
mean, that's just what
when
it is.
we first started messing around, that a lot of his female customers tried to trade sexual favors for free work because.
But I've told them that
But
I don't mix business
who's
with
to say
pleasure.
who's to say he didn't? Before he met me,
Because
like he said, he was
I
a
told you
womanizer.
when I met you that I was being true to you and faithful to you. Unlike you lying, getting caught in the lies, taking pictures while you was pregnant with other men. At first
His
you say
belief-
because your daddy asked you, then you're gonna say, oh, it's because I wanted to.
So hold on. Let me back up. You say you don't really trust him. Did that make you entertain other men or sexual relationships that you may not have otherwise entertained because you didn't feel like there was trust there?
No, like I said before, his religious beliefs, women are not supposed to interact with other men. So he feels like me talking to other men, me saying hi, me
Hugging other
interacting
men
with
in
a
front of
man,
my
period,
face, taking
is
pictures.
disrespectful to him. He just feels like it's disrespectful.
So these men where you have the pictures, are they men that you were interested in? Had you had a relationship
One
with
of the
them?
men I didn't even know. We were at a restaurant. I was pregnant. My father took me to this restaurant. I didn't know anybody there. I didn't even know the restaurant. He ended up taking pictures because he's been there before. He knew the people that were there. He said, let's take a picture. We all were taking pictures. It was something fun. I haven't seen my father in a while. That's what we did. I felt like it was okay. I put my arm around the man that I took the picture with. He felt like that was disrespectful. He felt like I was wrong for doing that. I shouldn't have did. He felt like my
Considering that it's
father.
I'm supposed to be in my seat in her stomach when this actually happened. And
But
her father's of the same
the thing-
religion as me. So for her
the
to say
thing
that,
is-
put it on her father,
All right.
I don't
So
think-
I see what's going on here. Bottom line is, you all got into this relationship under an untrustworthy kind of situation.
yes, Your Honor.
And now this lack of trust is still running rampant in your own
It's
relationship.
affecting it. Yes.
So, Mr. James, what happens if Taj is not your biological child?
I'll be hurt and devastated, but if he is my child, I would like to go ahead and marry her. If he's not, then that would not happen.
And what are your hopes?
As far as
your child.
I just want this to be over with so I can prove to him that's his son.
And you
I
want a
our
future with Mr. James?
Yes, ma'am. I want
right.
our relationship to go further.
Okay, Jerome, let's get to the results. We've got a child, his future, and a marriage on the line. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Cowart versus James, when it comes to Taj James, Mr. James, you are the father.
Thank you. I told you. Come on, you want a hug?
Thank you.
I told you, babe. I love you. I love you.
I see the tears in your eyes, Mr. James. It feels good to know, right?
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
I just hope this makes our relationship better.
How do you feel about that?
I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I mean, like I said, I've been there for him from day one, and I love him a lot.
I hope you understand now that trust is a foundation for any great love relationship, right? Not just between two people, but also between parent and child. And I want you all to work on that trust, all right? I wish you the best of luck. And I'm glad this is an easy one.
Thank you.
Court is adjourned.
Well, I'm very happy that now I know that this is my son. I can move forward. We can go ahead and get married and have a life and raise our 3 kids together.
I'm happy that it's over with. The doubt and everything can stop. I won't hear about it no more. We can go ahead and get married.